bro, literally about a week before she died or whatever it is, she tried to contact the office. They did not take her call. They would not return her call. A week later, she was dead. And bro, I'm telling you, I think that had a lot to do with it.
Chyna, she was just a star in there, and toward the early 2000s, she really started to drift away. And there's so much different rumors and speculation. And if you see the Chyna documentary, for those who are watching, one of the authors of I believe he's the author of The Great Fall of Chyna, I believe it was, he was talking about how she would go a few years later to say that it had something to do with Stephanie and Triple H's relationship. And he said that it was mainly due to the fact that she wanted equal pay and she wouldn't get it. Now, you weren't there in the early 2000s, around 01 or so, 01, 02, when the bridge basically just crumbled between her and WWE. But you were able to really get an awesome close relationship with her afterwards. How did y'all get together? And from what you understand, based on Chyna's time in the WWE and her split from it, what did you gather of the reason why her and WWE never got back together?
Bro, I gotta tell you, man, if you really knew Chyna like you understood, inside was a scared, little, insecure girl. Chyna was the superhero persona. Bro, she would tell you when she was a little girl, she wanted to be Wonder Woman for exactly the reason I'm telling you, bro. She was very quiet. She lacked confidence. She was insecure. And that little girl lived within this superhero persona. Now think about it, bro. Now all of a sudden, bro, when you think about, listen, man, when you think about the order in which things happened to her, yes, bro, there would have been people that would have been strong enough to handle it. She was not that person because she was very weak and she was really very, very vulnerable. So, bro, what it really comes down to is this. She finds out her, I don't even want to say boyfriend, bro, because it was much more than that. They were inseparable. They were living together. They trained together through Killer Kowalski, living together. They owned the house together. The whole 9 yards. She finds out behind her back, Hunter's carrying on with Stephanie. Now, bro, I will tell you this about Hunter. He cared about her so much, bro. Honestly, he did not know how to tell her. He did not want to hurt her. He knew what it would do to her. It's not like he was this, guy cheating behind her back like he was getting away with something. Listen, man, Chyna told me herself. She told me herself, Vince, people fall in love. I get it. He fell in love with Stephanie. She had no problem with that. She had a problem with the way she found out. But I know Paul didn't tell her because he didn't want to hurt her. So, okay, so that happens. Bro, then you obviously can't work in the same company together. That ain't happening. So now you're going to lose your job, okay? To me, bro, the nail in the coffin, and I hate to put it that way, but it really was, she's this little, vulnerable, insecure little girl living inside this superhero body called Chyna. Now, all of a sudden, they tell you can't be Chyna anymore.
Yeah.
Bro, she lost her identity. She didn't know who she was. She went back to that weak, vulnerable little girl. People took advantage of her in the entertainment business, doing surreal life and stuff like that.
Liberty Rehab.
Yeah, and bro, and from there, that was the one thing. And then, bro, the one thing I will never, ever, ever, ever forgive them with, and I really feel, bro, this was the difference between life and death. Bro, literally about a week before she died or whatever it is, she tried to contact the office. They did not take her call. They would not return her call. A week later, she was dead. And bro, I'm telling you, I think that had a lot to do with it. If they would have just accepted her call, because Chris, at that point in her life, all she's looking for is acknowledgement.
Yeah.
All she's looking for, bro, that whole Hall of Fame thing to her was a thank you, Joni. We're sorry things worked out the way they did, but you were a very big, important part of this. That's all she was looking for, acknowledgement. Bro, when she couldn't even get anybody on the phone, I really feel, bro, that was what did her in. And I say that all the time. Chris, listen, you and I are Christian, man. Bro, we're people. We're people. This really came down to one human being calling another human being back. I mean, that's all it really came down to. That one call could have saved a life. And that's the part of me that I'm like, are you guys kidding me? You couldn't pick up a phone? Come on.
Yeah, really, really sad. Really, really sad stuff. But thankfully, she had people like you that, were influential and were really supportive of her, even outside of WWE, especially outside of WWE, because y'all reached, y'all's closeness more outside of WWE than inside. And so, sad to see, but definitely a legend, an absolute legend.
God, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
They'll never be. I mean, bro, you hear that all the time. There'll never be another Joni Lauer. I mean, there was such a uniqueness, bro. You can't manufacture that, man.
Yeah, just set the standard. She set a bar that probably even won't be touched. Really,
never, bro.
Crossing barriers where, like, nowadays there's women, and men wrestling in indie shows, in every city. But back then, just that crossing that threshold of just a woman commanding so much presence that she had to be wrestling with the man, to actually, and it felt equal. That you just really. I mean, there's people not like a Rhea Ripley or something like that now, but at the same time, like, she set the bar when it comes to that.
And bro, I got to tell you this, and I think this is a problem today. And you got to give credit where credit is due, even though obviously there are some things I don't agree with. But when they were working together, Triple H was very protective of her. Like when I came up with creative, I had to run Chyna's creative by Hunter. He was very protective of her, bro. Yeah. Bro, you've got these girls today out there on their own, out on the road. Nobody looking out for them. They're afraid to speak up. They don't have a voice. I got to give him credit where credit is due there, bro. That had a lot to do with her success.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's good. That's good news to hear, from an inside standpoint, that he was protective of
he
that.
He was
in that way. So, yeah. So, I definitely think that she should get an individual, Hall of Fame induction. She's with a group now, but, I definitely think that even before DX, she should have got it an individual induction for sure.